the Spurs News Podcast, your home for all things Tottenham Hotspur. Now, here are your hosts.
Hello everybody and welcome to a new episode of the Spurs News Podcast. This, the international break special. What's special about it? Well, it's probably only going to be half hour. I'm Sam. Joining me, as always, to discuss the wonderful world of Tottenham Hotspur, it's Stephan.
How are we doing?
I am well. Not as well as the Lewis family, who have somehow found down the back of the sofa £100 million to put into the club. What did you think about that news?
I am very much kind of on the fence of this. Like, that's nice. They've invested money into the club. Happy days. You can't complain at people putting money in.
No.
100 million, that's going to get you 1.5, maybe 2 players.
Well, it depends the level of players
at the quality
you're
of
buying.
what we're meant to be. I mean, don't get me wrong. We can probably buy about 20 teenagers that might one day be good for Real Madrid, of course. But
No.
I'm like that. It's good to see the family are investing, and is it another part of them kind of showing, look, we're not for sale?
Well,
Like, we're putting money in. We're not looking to sell.
Yeah, I mean, the not for sale thing is gone in my mind from being a very clever sales tactic to we are actually not for sale, because we've had 3 prospective offers on the table. Due to the way stock exchange companies work, they have to kind of declare this interest. It becomes in the public, and then of course the press jump on it. There were 3 different kind of consortiums, 3 very different back-ins, financial, and they were all told, no. There's aspects to this which are a little bit interesting, because the third one of those is an American guy, famous for being a DJ, but then kind of became a tech entrepreneur and is a billionaire.
Yeah.
But also a big sort of social media. So a lot of that was coming out via social media. Now, the club denied they engaged in any talks. He then posted pictures of him being shown around the club, so that would seem strange.
I just paid for a VIP tour. It's fine.
Everything then went quiet, and then they're issuing statements from both sides of how great the other side are, how they, had a nice chat, but it was clear the club's not for sale. Now, I'm going to ask you a question, and just you give me your view. If you do not want to sell your house, and someone shows up and says, "Hey, can I look around your house? I might want to buy it." Do you show them around?
No.
So I find that odd. I find that a little bit kind of curious. But hey, it's what it is. Maybe. I mean, to me, perhaps it's this case of we don't want to sell. We actually have a plan here, and we think we can do well. However, if someone walks up and goes, "Hey, I'm going to give you $5 billion for this club, and I'm going to do this, that, and the other," maybe they'd go, wait a minute. That
is where I feel like they are at. I feel like it's a case of we don't want to sell, we can see what we want to do, but if someone comes in with the right digits that makes us go, ooh, you can't turn that sort of thing down.
Yeah.
Everything in life, everything in the world, everything has a price.
Wow, everything?
Everything has a price. There is a digit on absolutely everything where you as a person cannot turn around and go, no.
So what is the figure for you to be... No, that's all right. I'm not going to do that to you on a podcast. You're all right. Don't worry about it.
£7.50.
I knew it. Right. So that's it. I mean, that's interesting in itself. But the 100 million being put in... this is a bit financial nerdy. It's been put in a way where it's not club debt. So, for example, a lot of owners put stuff in and they do it as loans. You think about Roman Abramovich, who basically just bankrolled Chelsea.
Yeah.
But then when all stuff got frozen, it was like revealed that it was all in there as like loans. Now, that could be a nightmare, but also adds to the debt for the club, even if it is a director's loan, ownership loan or whatever. But they didn't. They created new capital and injected it that way, and by doing that, all it's done is increase the capital base of the club. Now, for a long time, without going into absolute nerd level detail, I've discussed the fact that the club is in this quite insane financial position for financial fair play due to the income stream. That revenue from that new stadium and all of the other aspects that have come with it, like the concerts, the NFL games,
the NFL games, which I know we had a couple over the international break.
Yeah, we did.
And whenever I see the videos of, like, you know, they do like the time lapses of this is how the stadium turns from football to American football and back again. No matter how many times I see those videos, I still sit there and go, that is fucking cool.
It is, actually, yeah. No, I find it quite zen watching them. Like, that's nice, yeah. But then again, I watch those kind of videos anyway. There's this lunatic in America, that narrows it down, and he's like does gardening, like landscape gardening.
Oh, and
I think he must have discovered at some point that he like could charge people like $1,000 for like this unbelievable job he'd do, or he could make the video go viral online and earn like 10,000.
Yep.
And so he does that. So now he rocks up at like people's yards that are completely wrecked, overgrown or anything. It's called like SB mowing or something like that.
I've seen this guy. He doesn't charge them for the job, but he does it and then gets his money from...
Yeah, mate, I watch them and I'm literally just watching grass get cut. There's something wrong with me, like that. And I'm just like watching it like, oh, this is really quite relaxing. I like this.
It reminds me of the Conte days.
It does a little bit. So, anyway, moving on from that. The NFL, just very quickly on that, is interesting. Do you know, so you had 2 games in this international break. Part of the deal with the NFL is a split kind of revenue thing because obviously there's, our club store becomes the NFL store during this, etc. and stuff like that. So there is a kind of income split between certain aspects. And then there's some of the stuff in the stadium, like the bars and stuff, which is all our income. But what do you think the club net is estimated to make, based on what they did like the last few years, from those 2 NFL games?
Based on, I'm sure someone said it's like between 1 and 2 million for a normal Premier League match.
It's a little bit higher now. It's about 3 million. Yeah, it's about 3 million.
If we're breaking it down with all the NFL stuff, you've got to be looking at least split revenue and stuff. You've got to be looking at least 2 to 3 million again then per game.
Well, what is interesting is through ticket sales, through all of it, and even with the split, those 2 games is estimated to bring in just under £10 million.
Ooh, that's like, yeah. Okay, so that's like double what I was expecting.
Yeah, I mean it is, and that goes into the club, like that goes into the club's bottom line. So it's just an example of what I've said before, which is the stadium has become an absolute monster of a profit centre, which enables us to be able to spend, enables us to be able to do all sorts of manoeuvre in the transfer market.
And what's crazy is the fact that they've done it in a way. So, international football, there's no matches for 2 weeks. Okay, let's just earn 10 million.
Yeah.
The next international break. Oh no, there's no football. Okay, chuck a couple of concerts in there.
I only learned this recently as well. Have you seen a few times that international teams who are playing in Europe, playing in the UK, including England, have used Hotspur Way?
Yes.
And like Brazil came over for a friendly in Spain, or like came over for a friendly at some point.
A lot of the internationals use our training ground, yeah.
Yeah, not only do they use it, we've got the lodge there where they can stay as well.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Yeah, we charge them for that.
I'm going to say, how much are we charging?
Yeah. So I'm just going to say this, and it's a painful thing for a Tottenham fan to say after so much, but I really do think, and in time, I really hope more and more people see this, Daniel Levy did an incredible job with this. Like, for all the criticisms which are valid, stadium, and like that's brilliant. Now, going to where we are now, where Mr. Levy has left, and the Lewis family, as they've branded themselves, are very much in charge. This 100 million going in doing this kind of addresses a problem we've had, which is we can potentially spend X, Y, and Z, but the actual cash in the company isn't there to do that. So it's like, oh, every transfer window we can spend more and more. Like the financial that we are making is becoming so much more all the time. We've just done the highest number across the summer of concerts the stadium's hosted. Now that, until the accounts come out,
they had everything. They had like from Beyonce to K-pop.
Yeah, and
we covered all
selling out.
Go on.
Yeah, I mean, so until the accounts for that comes out, there's no way of knowing the revenue that is. But based on, I think the summer earlier they had like Beyonce as well and a couple of other acts, not as many. The revenue from that was like nigh on 50 to 60 million pounds. So again, you look at the fact they've done even more. Plus there was a boxing event. Plus there's the ongoing rugby, like the showdown, the NFL. Like you're generating 100 million plus from that, which is paying down any stadium debt, etc. So, like we said before, it's all really well structured. It works really well for the club, but actual cash in the club hasn't really existed. So what is interesting is twofold. One, the way they've put it in addresses that, doesn't create more debt. It literally addresses the fact, okay, there needs to be cash in there because, it's great. We can spend up to 500 million in a window. We don't have the money to do it.
Yeah, so we've got £7, but hey, we could spend.
And according to a lot of journalists around the club who cover Tottenham week in, week out, they are being told by representatives of the Lewis family that this is the first bit. Like, this isn't like all they're going to do. This is literally them addressing the kind of, okay, there's an immediate need to put cash in because there's a January window coming up. Because the other thing as well is, like, football transfers are all done on installments. We all know that. So if you put 100 million in there, that doesn't mean necessarily it's like, well, you can sign, up to 100 million. You can do deals, etc., based on that capital being sat there.
Yeah.
Now, if more is put in, and this is, like I said, like the first tranche of doing this thing, then that's kind of exciting because that is very different than how we've been owned and operated for the last 20-some years.
Yes.
But kind of heard it all before. I mean, like you mentioned Conte before. During Conte's tenure, Daniel Levy did a deal with Joe Lewis, and Joe Lewis put money in. Didn't really work out. Didn't get followed up.
Was that the 150 million war chest that went in, but we didn't really actually sign anyone?
They didn't really. They didn't even draw it all down, and that was put in as like a director's loan and stuff. So this is very different, and it is, again, like I'm trying to be cautiously optimistic.
Yeah.
Because it does feel like the ownership are moving in a direction of we want to win stuff, and therefore this is what we're doing to try and give us the best chance. I saw a few videos online of people reacting to it along the lines of, oh my god, these owners saw the Europa League win and they're like, this is what we want, and that's why they've got rid of Levy and they're doing it all themselves. I mean, that's kind of like a nice way of thinking about it. Like they suddenly saw the light of what things could be if they back the club.
Yeah.
But I'm not entirely sure that that's it. Like, I don't fully believe that. Like, I know for a fact, just through first-hand stuff, that the daughter of Joe Lewis did not like Daniel Levy at all.
Yep.
Daniel Levy dedicated best part of a quarter of a century to this club. To me, it felt a little bit like, screw you. I'm taking this from you.
Surely, I mean, I don't know how old the son and the daughter are that have now kind of taken hold of it. But surely, like, most of their life has been Tottenham and Daniel Levy.
Yeah.
So that's a massive change anyway, isn't it? Like, to go, yeah, do you know what, actually, Uncle Daniel, off you jog.
Well, I mean, it is a massive departure for so many people. I mean, you think about it, I mean, it's basically 25 years. I mean, my daughter's 17, so, like, she literally has not known anything but... I mean, you are... not. I mean, so how old were you when Enoch bought Tottenham?
I would have been, like, 10.
So to you, like, realistically, you wouldn't have known who the Tottenham owner was at 10 years old, would you?
No, my entire life as a knowledgeable, knowing Spurs fan has been Daniel Levy.
Has been since you met me. Yeah, no, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, so really, there are fully grown adults with kids and families who are ticket holders, been to the games, who literally, this is their first...
Yeah, oh my God, what do we do now?
Well, it is, and it's kind of strange. Like, it is kind of strange. But that 100 million going in, I can only see is a good thing. But as always with everything, it's the proof's in the pudding. So come January, what would you like to see happen in January which would show you things are different? Like, if you could pick one thing or a couple of things that just, without like naming players, like, oh, if we signed this guy, it'd be amazing. But just kind of, what would show you things are different?
So, for me, this is actually really quite difficult because at this moment in time, the squad are performing very well.
Yeah.
With what, third in the table at the moment?
Yeah.
We're still in all the cups. We've done all right in Europe. You know, we are playing well. We're developing and we're doing well. We're third in the league. I'm looking at the injuries we've got, and I'm like, okay, Dragusin's about to come back.
Yes, yeah, looking well.
Looking good. That gives us another, I think, a good option at centre-back.
That I agree with. Polynesian Dan does not. He hates him.
But that gives us him, Dan So, and Ben Davis, who's a left-back, centre-back, as our options there Ben. Anyway, as well as the new young signing we've had that's almost back as well. So for me, I'm like, okay, defence is fairly good. The goalkeeping options are good. The midfield options that we've got, I mean, okay, let's be honest, Maddison's not going to play this season, I don't think.
Maybe.
I think at his age with an injury like that, I think he would be looking at, right, I'm going to give myself the time I need to make sure I come back in my prime. Just to pause you a second, I don't know if you've watched it, but there's a second YouTube video from James Maddison. So he decided to do this kind of behind-the-scenes Tottenham on tour thing. Yes.
And then he got injured horrifically. And then, so he's decided he's going to keep that going as part of a kind of a focus, a way of him kind of channeling everything. The first video was kind of fun because there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes on tour, the players having a laugh. Got to see a few people in a different light. The second video is a lot more about the injury and his kind of mental health, how he's coping with it. But there are some bits in that video, which I'll come on to in a second, which are so enlightening on some of those players. You know, got kind of an idea in your head of what they're like, and then you see some of the interactions and you think, oh, wow, that's interesting. So we'll also go back. But the reason why I paused you is he basically says in the video literally what you just said. I'm 28, I'm going to be 29. Oh, okay, sorry.
I haven't seen the video yet. Yeah. But I have seen that quote was shared somewhere, and I wasn't sure how accurate it was.
Okay, well, I'm 28. I'm going to be 29 by the time I come back. I just want to focus on doing this right and not rush it. So apologies, mate. You carry on.
No, it's fine. So, I don't think he'll be back this season.
Okay.
Hopefully, Kulusevski's going to be back soon. That seems to be like one of these kind of ongoing... I keep seeing things on his Instagram of him in the gym training. And then it's like, oh no, it's going to take longer.
I was told it was November, December for Decky.
Yeah. So I'm fingers crossed that once he comes back, we then have an abundance of talent in the midfield and forward options anyway.
Yeah.
Our striking options I mean, I like very much having the combination of Tell, Richarlison and Solanke when he's back fit.
Yeah.
I think all three of those give you something a bit different.
Yep.
Solanke is fantastic in the box, a good poacher, knows where to be at the right time, and will press from the front. Richarlison is just an absolute handful that every defender must hate playing against.
You know, I asked you a different question to please walk through the squad with what
No,
you
I'm getting to that quick. There's a reason for this, okay? There's a reason for this.
Go on then.
So, that is our squad at the moment. Now, I do not see any part of that squad right now where I'm like absolutely screaming for a new player in that position.
Okay.
Now, I know newbie Ryan loves a signing.
Yeah.
I don't think he cares who. He just loves a signing.
Yeah.
And I can guarantee if you ask him that question, he's going to be like, well, I want to see like 3 new players through the door and stuff. For me, I genuinely don't know what he's going to show me. Oh, these guys mean business. Unless we get a bad injury to a key player between now and the January transfer window, I'm not looking at that as a window where we desperately need to bring players in. There's a few players that potentially we could do with shipping out in that window.
Okay.
But I don't see how, let's just say, for example, we sell 2 players that everyone agrees, yeah, to be fair, their chances are limited this season. Probably don't need them anymore. We sell them off to someone.
Yeah.
Is that showing a new owners mean business? Because, the other summer we released 3 or 4 players on a free, which we had never done before.
Yeah. So,
in answer to your question, I don't know.
I forgot the question, to be honest, mate. It was like a year ago. My beard has grown. No,
I genuinely don't know. Like, I don't know what shows me that this board mean business, because I just don't think.
Okay. Well, I mean, I think that's a matter of opinion. I think when you look at the squad, I think everyone will have different opinions on different players. I think everyone will have different opinions on what can and could be done. So for me, for example, I look at a player like, I look at our left wing, right? I look at the difference Mohamed Kudus has made on the right. And I look at that and I go, okay, signing quality in that position at an age of the player who was good in the Premier League, who is showing his ability for us, has shown the difference between signing a player ready and is in his prime, hitting his prime, as opposed to signing an 18, 19-year-old and hoping that they'll still be here when they hit their prime.
Yeah.
On the left wing for us currently is largely Odegaard or Tau, who I believe are both very good players, but if you compare them at the moment to Mohamed Kudus, it's night and day. From what's being produced, what's everything like that.
Yeah, that's fair.
So again, it's not a case of me saying this player's crap or anything like that. It's just you look at that and that balance isn't right at the moment. Like this, basically, if you're defending us, you're going to double up on Kudus and let the other guys have a go because you feel confident in that.
Yeah, I can't argue.
I also feel at left back we have a slight issue. It's not as big as left wing in my opinion, but Ben Davies for me is no longer a left back, a full back at Premier League level. I think he can tuck in the left centre back very well. International football, he's been doing that for a long time now, and really for us he's done that. So now he's naturally left footed, which the only other naturally left footed defender back there is Mickey van der Ven. With Van der Ven's hamstring issues, keeping Ben around has made sense to me. But at the same time, his contract's up in the summer. Udogie has come back and has shown great form, but not because he's competing with Ben, but because he's competing with Jed, who has shown that he can play right back and left back equally well.
Yes.
But for me, if there was a left back option available who would instantly push Destiny, like Jed has been doing, and could perhaps also cover in the left, left-footed, could cover left centre, like basically replacing Ben Davis in the squad.
Replace Ben Davis with a younger Ben Davis.
Well, yeah, someone who's another level, ideally.
Yeah.
That to me again would be a deal well worth doing. Like that in my mind is okay. That is somewhere in the squad. That would make sense. So January is a weird window, as we all know. But if for me, if the club wanted to show me that things are different, the key thing for me would be whatever they have planned for January, whatever player, whatever position they have focused on and gone, right, that is where we're not being as creative or we're not doing as much right now. That's where we need. They do it early. That is the key thing for me, because the January transfer window is a weird window, largely because in mid-season everyone's still got something to play for. Like if you're a top player at a good club challenging for honours, you want to see the season out. The club don't want to sell you. If you are a very good player but the club's like not doing well, you as the club don't want to lose that player, because
that could be the difference between mid-table and relegation form.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that is why that window is difficult. But if the money's right and it's done very early in the window, you will find that clubs will do the deal because they then have the money and the time to replace them. But if you do the brinkmanship shit, which we've done for so long, where we wait
might
until
sign him, maybe, yeah. You want 50, we'll give you 45. That crap, yeah.
Well, I mean, I can give you countless examples, but a January example, which I always think of, is the Pedro Porro deal, where in day one of the window, he was identified by us as the player we wanted. We went in, got quoted a price, lowballed them, and fucked around until literally near deadline day, and ended up paying more than the price we were quoted at the start.
And then we sign him on loan with an option to buy later because...
Yeah, but I mean, that's a structure thing a lot of the time. But still, it got to that point where it was a struggle to get the deal done. Like, literally, it looked like it was going to collapse 3 or 4 times.
Oh, wow.
It was a mess. And we ended up paying, like I said, more than what was quoted to us at the start of the window. The brinkmanship thing worked when there was a clear disparity in finance with a lot of clubs. The Premier League is now so rich that even if you are the bottom player... I mean, look at the fact that last season we were 17th. No one's coming along and just stealing our players we don't want to sell.
No.
You know, you could be the champion... You know, Liverpool literally could have come in for a player, and if we'd gone no, that would have been it. Like, no, we don't have to sell. So, no. We're saying though, I don't care if the player's sat there in a Liverpool shirt wanting to go, he ain't going.
No.
So yeah, to me, I think there are things there.
Any Newcastle fan that stumbled upon this podcast just got very upset with you.
Yeah, well, always. But my point is that if they want to show different, that's what would happen. If we go into the January transfer window, it's silence on all counts. And towards the end of the window, we've done a deal for like some random teenager. Oh, got really high potential and he's going to join us in the summer or whatever. Then yeah, okay. But that's not different. No. That's the direction we were in. That's the kind of place. And yeah, like you said, the opinion could be there isn't actually a player available that improves us, which could well be the reality. But my point is, I think these owners need to show the fan base a seriousness and a kind of a difference to what the leadership has been for some time. And the transfer window is the perfect opportunity to do it, but you know what's going to be available. I'll give you one example, okay? Just one example of a player. I think it's Semenyo at Bournemouth, the left wing.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's been announced when he signed his new deal, there's a release clause.
Is this a release clause we're allowed to know, or are we about to get in trouble again?
Well, it's been made public, so
okay, that's
obviously,
fine.
But my point to that is, if that is true, he would, without a shadow of a doubt, improve us on the left. Like, no, there's no doubt, shouldn't be any doubt in anyone's mind. If you wanted to really send a message that would actually shock, even me suggesting it, if we did it, would shock me. Like, January 1st, bang, release clause triggered. That would be a massive sign of intent, don't you think?
It would. My only concern with him is how much he's come out with the whole Arsenal links.
Mate, it was just an example.
No, that's what I'm saying. No, that is player. That is a perfect example of a player that I would love to see in a Spurs shirt, because I think if his ability would be fantastic.
Yeah.
And then he came out with the Arsenal links, and I was like, here we go again.
Yeah. No, like forget him. Like, I don't want to sign anyone who wants to play for them, not us. So it is just a case of there's a player there, got a
there's the release clause, hit it, get it done. Go.
There are going to be players out there in a similar position that could potentially improve us.
Yeah.
The one thing I will add, just finally on this, is signings, etc., etc. We are already overloaded squad-wise, and the squad makeup is all over the place for our competitions this season. So let's say there's some miracle, and the doctors have just said that Matters and Decky are both fit and available again from January.
Yeah.
We have got decisions to make in our Champions League squad. They would both be sat there demanding a place in it, quite rightly, and we'd drop Xavi, drop this guy, drop that guy.
Our squad is large.
So there is already some issues there that signing additional players might not necessarily be the way to go. But like I said, there's always, things that can be done, and it'd be interesting. So look, I wanted to keep this one short and sweet this week. I just wanted to kind of touch base with everyone because it is the international break. We do return to action this weekend, and I'm going to put you on the spot. Okay. How much of a Tottenham fan are you? Who are we playing this weekend?
Okay.
Now, it feels to me that as I've said this, you are Googling it.
That would be a low blow.
So, who are we playing this weekend?
We are actually at home to Aston Villa.
You Googled it pretty quick, mate. Well,
no, do you know how I tell you how I knew that one?
Go on.
It was purely because in the England game, they said about Watkins being injured and he might be a doubt for Sunday versus Spurs.
And yet you took so long to answer. I'm shocked, actually. I'm a little disappointed in you. You're supposed to be a big fan, doing a podcast. It's the Laura Derby. Anyone who listens will know this, but we have the Instagram admin is lovely Laura, and she got married 2 years ago, and she married an Aston Villa fan, like a proper goes to game, has tickets.
Still hurts.
Proper. I mean, yes, it does hurt that she left me for him, but that's a side note. Yes, so she, lovely Laura. We dubbed it the Laura Derby because obviously that's going to be a fun house. Anyway, that is it. That is our show. We will be back next week with the show as normal, talking about the game, talking about what's coming up. The games are literally about to be very thick, very fast.
It's
this
that
time
part
of
of the
year,
season where it's like midweek every week.
Yeah, it's about to get crazy. Like, after this international break, right up and through Christmas is going to be mad. Speaking of Christmas, you're not going to be here in December. Like, you've got an adventure planned, and you're like going off places.
Yes.
So I need to recruit someone to come in and talk about Tottenham with me.
My last show will be mid-December.
Oh, mid. All right. Okay. Well, I mean that's assuming I might replace you before that.
That's true. You could.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much, everybody, for listening. As always, we'll be back show proper next week. Until then, everybody, you all take care.
And come on, you Spurs.
Thank you for listening to the Spurs News Podcast. We hope that you enjoyed the show. Stay up to date with all things Tottenham. Follow us on social media. All links are in the podcast description.